Hi Libra, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your October 1st, 2020 full moon reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it 8 thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification. And if you're interested in the cards that I use, they are all listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from your body like storm clouds, feeling yourself become calm, centered, and at peace as you enter into this safe and loving space. All right, so let's see what the tarot has to say. Let's let the bowl sing as we do so. Now I'm just going to be moving your Moonology and your Queen of the Moon cards over to the side. These will be layered on top of the tarot at the end to really give Luna a voice of her own and really hear what the moon has to say about this time and how it correlates with the tarot. So let's see here. Libra, October 1st, 2020 full moon. How will Libra be affected by the October 1st, 2020 full moon? How will Libra be affected by the October 1st, 2020 full moon? How will Libra be affected by the October 1st, 2020 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. So the left-hand side, this is your inner self. The middle is your emotional self, your heart self. And the right-hand side is your public self and the public arena. Okay, so let's see here. We have the Ace of Wands. This is God, Source, Spirit. However you see the divine, the universe, handing you a gift of passion, of creativity. It very well correlates with the Aries full moon, which is on the 1st of October. So this power is going to be amplified. You have the Two of Cups, healing energy, love coming forward, the Minor Arcana Lovers card. Then we have Strength. This is a Leo energy, a time frame of July 23rd to August 22nd. It's playing off of the fire energy of the Aries full moon, and there is a sense of inner strength, of inner power. You're finding a strength, Libra, that you might not have known you had. Then there's the Eight of Wands. With this strength, you are moving forward. You are moving towards what you desire. You are moving towards what you need. But more importantly, and I know this sounds a bit funny because Spirit is saying, more importantly than what you want, you're moving towards what divinity wants for you. So at times you're going to be like, wait a minute, this isn't exactly the way that I want to be heading, but it seems like you can't stop it. And it's not that you can't stop it. It's that Spirit is saying, because you can, okay, what Spirit is saying is that you can stop it, but divinity wants you to head on a path that seems different than what you had originally intended. And it's not bad. It's just that Doors are being opened. You are moving forward in a way that you hadn't expected, but that is powerfully and personally really aligned with your soul and who you are meant to be. You have the repeat of the number 8. So internally, you're taking things very seriously. This can actually be you're taking things a little bit too seriously, where you're sitting there and you're thinking too much about things, you're overthinking, you're overanalyzing. This is also a need to connect with feminine energy, the feminine side of yourself and what you desire. And this is also a good luck number. So even though you might be overanalyzing things, you might be kind of worried about things. And believe me, I am the queen of worry. So when it comes in here that there's an overthinking, it's kind of like, no, step back. And instead of automatically projecting the worst possible thing you can think of as being what's coming forward for you, look at things and step back and say, I'm doing my best. I can only do my best. And I will see how that road takes me and where that road takes me. And there's a freedom to that. There's a freedom to that. Yes, there is also a frustration and there is an anger and there is a sense, especially if the world is kind of like blowing up around you. It's like, no, I need to change things. But if you step back and say, I need to see how this ends, because as hard as I push, as much as I try, I cannot, change the force of this energy coming forward, but I have the strength to withstand it and to move forward. And that's going to be something that you're going to question, but there's a healing power to you and there's a blessing that is coming from divinity. So even when you think, I can't move forward, the power around you is that you definitely can. But the thing is, it's kind of like you're walking into the wind. And the thing is that you just have to kind of stop for a minute and turn your back to the wind and kind of like huddle your face in your jacket and around, pull your hat down and just stand there for a moment and just breathe. Just breathe and center yourself and then keep moving. Yeah, we have the 8 of Swords. So now you have 3 8s. So this is a divine message. The 8 of Swords is exactly it. It's worry, it's doubt, it's fear, it's thinking, I'm going to fail no matter which way I go, or it's just not going to work out the way that I want it to. We can live our whole lives in the 8 of Swords. And people do. People do it all the time. And here with your heart, Libra, the thing is that yes, you can live there, but do you want to? And there's a healing from this energy that's coming forward. There's the fool's journey. So you're going to think, oh my gosh, I'm being so foolish. Like, okay, I understand this makes me feel good, or this is healing, or this is whatever, but it's not what needs to be done. It's not serious. It's not going to get me anywhere. You will be surprised. You will be surprised. Yes, it takes tenacity. It takes hard work. It takes dedication to begin a fool's journey, because it is your hero's path. It is what's opening the world to you in a way that you hadn't anticipated. And yes, you might sit there and say, well, that road didn't, bring me where I wanted to be. No, but it might have brought you somewhere that taught you something that is absolutely irreplaceable and absolutely valuable to the way that you are moving forward. The hero's journey. Everybody thinks the hero is a fool when they start, right? A Herculean task is a task that seems insurmountable, that a task that seems like you cannot do it. And the shocking thing is that you do. Then we have the 7 of Wands. Choose your battles wisely. You have this 8 energy here, okay, taking things very seriously. You have the Strength card. You can kind of get things a little bit muddled, all right? And think that strength, as we are taught, is brute force strength. The strength that you want to channel here, Libra, is a strength that you're much more accustomed to and much more resonates with your heart and your soul, is the strength of kindness, the strength of intuition, the strength of understanding, the strength of love, the strength of compassion, the strength of beauty, the strength of peace. 5 of Pentacles. One of the things that you're stepping away from, but that is going to be a little bit hard for you to step away from, is a pauper's mentality. And a lot of us have this as one of the things we need to overcome in our lives. The sense of, I'm not worthy of wealth. I'm not valuable enough to have wealth in my life. Or a sense of, thinking, okay, I'll just sit back and it'll just come. So here, this is feeling on the outside of wealth. And as you are on the outside of wealth, there's a doubt, there's a fear, there's an anger, there's an upset. There's a sense of being left out in the cold. And that's something that you're fighting against. Excuse me. What Spirit is saying here is being very mindful with what you're going up against. What's really important. What you think of as being important and what's really important to you. So some battles you're going to sit there and be like, how dare they, disrespect me? How they dare, this be like this? And how angry am I? But if you step back, you will realize that that's a battle that isn't worth fighting. It's just not worth fighting. And as you choose your battles wisely, you save your strength and you move towards the wealth that you want to call into your life. You have here the Star card. This is an Aquarius energy, a time frame of January 20th to February 18th. This is looking at your greatest wish. And here it's really cool because you have this gift from divinity towards your passion, towards why you get out of bed in the morning, towards what you want that really calls upon this Aries moon. You have doubts and fears, which is going to be something that needs to be overcome or not dwelled in. It's kind of like, okay, I know I will always have fear. It's what kept, my ancestors alive. It was healthy, and it is still healthy to be afraid, and to listen to our instincts, but it's not healthy to live there. Also, our world has evolved in such a way that what we would be afraid of and what we would need to be mindful of because of that fear, like don't be bitten by a snake, be watchful, be vigilant, is not the same as keep on checking your Instagram to see how many followers you have. Things like that, sit there and it actually messes with your head. So the vigilance there, so that you don't feel stressed, is actually going to cause you stress. And so here, when you look at what your soul wants and what is the highest form of your perfection, it doesn't have to do with everything else. It has to do with your heart, your soul, your patience, your beauty, yourself. And it builds you. And then we have the Devil card right here in the public arena. The public lure is going to be astoundingly, intoxicatingly inviting. Okay? So it's going to be kind of like a siren's call. And how Odysseus had to, I believe it was Odysseus, had to tie himself to the mast because he wanted to hear the siren's call, but he didn't want to be drowned into the sea. And that's going to be the thing. If you listen to this call and you listen to the beauty of it and the seductress mentality of it, you will be drowned by the expectations of others, by something that is beautiful but never attainable. And this is moving away from that addiction that we all have in our world, to something that is enticing and beautiful, but also fake and just made to make us want more and want more and want more, or try for something that we will never obtain. Our bodies will never look like that. We will never be that person. And here it is walking into the power of that truth and that understanding. It's kind of like, I see me. And I see me not as someone who has to change, not as somebody who is broken and shattered and worthless, but I see me as somebody valuable. And wow, you have another major arcana here. The public arena, intense for you. The Chariot, moving towards what you love, moving towards what you desire. This is a Cancer energy, a time frame of June 21st to July 22nd. This is a sense, and the Capricorn time frame, I don't know if I said this, December 22nd to January 19th. So Capricorn goes right into Aquarius. You have the Chariot energy here, and it's moving forward in love. And it's standing up for what you believe in. There's a sense of the High Priestess around you as you learn to choose your battles wisely. There's a wisdom and a grace. And then we have another major arcana card, the World, right here. So the public arena for you during this time, Libra, the way that you're moving forward, the way that you're interacting with people, the energy that you're taking from these situations is astoundingly intense. The world is opening to you. The world is opening to you. The world is moving you forward. You're seeing things kind of like, the world is not as big as it once seemed, but it also holds endless possibilities. So it's big and it's small at the exact same time. And it's almost like, oh, okay, I can see it. I see the scope of the world, but I also see my place within it. I also am moving towards my truth instead of others' truths that no longer resonate, no longer need to be a part of who I am and where I'm heading. And this is what this full moon in Aries is all about. It's all about this beautiful start, this courage to embrace our passion, this power to begin while we embody and invoke the archetype of the warrior, which is what Aries is all about. Aries is the god of war. In Greek mythology, in Roman mythology, it's Mars, So here it is that fiery, passionate determination. It's looking at things, it's saying, yes, I can. This is a time to, ground yourself in protection, to define your boundaries, and to embrace your courage for the change that is being called into your life. This is a time where you surrender to the divine. You surrender to your divine power. You surrender to the greater message of what you want, what you need, and what you are calling into your life. And that's where your power comes from. This is the ability to light and rekindle the spark that you feel has gone out. You know, the world takes on hues of responsibility, and, you know, it almost feels like Atlas, right? The god Atlas was a Titan, and of course the Titans lost against the Olympians, the Greek gods, Zeus, you know, Athena, Aphrodite. The Titans lost. And Atlas's punishment for losing was to have himself hold the world up for all eternity. And that is what you feel like. You feel like you are holding up your corner of the world, and you have been holding up your corner of the world for all eternity. And there is no end in sight. And this will be your weight to bear for your whole entire life. And that is not fair to you. And that is not true. You are now embracing the energy around you to take a stance, to build those boundaries, to call in change. You are rekindling the spark of what you want and what you need to make things happen, to move things forward, to set yourself free. As you do so, there's the energy of kind of like me first. And because you might feel like you're indulging in this energy for the first time in a really long time, you might think, oh, how selfish. And you also might think, oh my gosh, I'm going to be like a 5-year-old, a petulant little 5-year-old who says me first, me first, me first all the time and wants to just push to the head of everything. It's like, no, that's not it. That's not it. It's kind of like me first. I get to matter. I get to have my cup be filled. I get to be in love with my life. I get to be happy. I get to have this beauty being a part of me. And as you do so, you are going to find that you're a little bit impulsive. Now, Libra, you're not too much of an impulsive type, but you like to keep things balanced. But when you do get impulsive, or when you do start to tip the scales, you can kind of do so to excess. So just be mindful of impulsiveness really coming forward. Also be mindful that during this time, one of the things that everybody has to be mindful of is that we're going to go after the things that stress us out the most. Why? Because we are the warrior, and that seems like the biggest battle, and that's it. I'm going for it. Okay, cool idea, yeah? But absolutely, positively overwhelming idea, because you're going to have these hurdles ahead of you, and that's where the Eight of Swords is just going to come in and be like, oh, and your heart is going to be like, I can't do it. I'm exhausted. And there is the sense of getting caught in the trap of, well, if you can't do it perfect, why would you do it at all? Now this leads us, and this is your new moon, because this leads us to the new moon on the 16th of October in Libra, and it's a new romantic cycle begins. And Libra, you love the romance. You do. This is not necessarily a new love coming into your life, though it can be, We don't want to speak negativity over anything. It can be a new romantic cycle coming in your life that way. But it is a new romantic cycle coming into your life, of your life. The romantic story of you and your existence, the way that you are moving forward, what you desire, and it brings a new start coming, because it brings fresh eyes. The beginner's mind in Buddhism. It's coming to things with beginner's eyes, with a beginner's mind, with a sense of not taking our preconceived notions, our preconceived prejudices, and placing them before us and saying, this is not my truth. It's like, no, I'm balancing the scales, I'm honing my power, I'm moving towards what I desire, and I'm letting in the love within my life to move me forward. I am beginning. And as I am beginning, I am embracing my truth, my passion, and where I want to stand, and what I stand for. This is very much connecting you, and I always see the new moon as connecting us with the god Janus. In Roman mythology, he is the god of new beginnings. He is the god of portals and doorways, and he is the god that actually January is named after. So here, as you are moving forward, you are embracing that energy. You're embracing that godliness in the new moon. And the new moon is also a fantastic time for introspection, for contemplation, for understanding. It's like this serenity comes forward. And as the serenity comes forward, you step into your power. Now, the full moon on the 31st of October is astounding, because not only is it a blue moon, but it's a, the full moon on Shamwin. It is, Halloween. I don't know if it's 30th or the 31st is Halloween. So it's like, around Halloween, it has this fantastic energy moving you forward, guiding you, embracing you. And here it says your dreams need a practical plan. And they do. Your dreams need a practical plan. Your dreams need to be looked at, they need to be understood, and you need to be making them into your reality, calling them forth into your power of self and of soul, of beauty and of understanding. There's a stubbornness to you when it comes to your dreams. There's a stubbornness of, I get to live this truth. I get to have this beauty. I get to be free within me. And as you call this in, you then have your spirit guide animal cards here, your spirit animals, there we go, of October, and they're the crow spirit and the dove spirit. And what I love about these, and I'll say it 1,000 million times, is that the crow spirit and the dove spirit seem completely incongruous. They do. They don't go together. You think of a crow, okay, and first of all, you think of a harbinger of death. The Morgan in Celtic mythology has the crow, as do a lot of, malevolent, or they're not necessarily malevolent, but they're warrior, death goddesses, gods coming forward. But the crow here, and a flock of crows is called a murder of crows. Here, the crow says co-create with spirit. Here, the crow connects you with spirit. It's the dark and the light. Doves represent peace. They do. We see doves and we think, oh, how peaceful, how lovely. Even if they're not the white doves. I have a bunch of, I think they're turtleneck doves or turtle doves or something like that around where I live. And, you just look at them and you think, oh, how charming. And you look at a crow and you think, oh, a bully. But it's not necessarily that way. Crows, the spirit animal of the crow represents change. It represents a connection to the sacred law, the sacred balance of things. It is a trusting in your intuition and your integrity of self. It is moving you forward. It's speaking your truth, and it's standing in your vision of what you want from life. And that has you co-creating with spirit. That also has you seeing the beauty within the depth of the blackness. When you look at a crow and you see ominous, but then you look more deeply and you see shades of purple and blue. You see a depth of beauty that is breathtaking. It then moves us to the dove spirit. Because as the crow brings messages to us to look more deeply, to understand more fully, the dove brings messages to us to embrace peace and hope, especially when our hearts are hurting. And whose heart hasn't gone through hurt or doesn't hurt every now and then, sometimes without us even knowing why? It's kind of like, oh, my heart is sore. You are now embracing with the dove spirit, which is be peace, gentle compassion for the world, but also for yourself. And does this world not need more gentle compassion in it? You're then released and embracing a release from the pain that holds you back and the pain that has defined you for too long. And as your power comes forward, as you step in your light and in your truth, you are graced first and foremost with a gift from the Ace of Wands, God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, to move you forward, to embrace where you want to be, to harness this energy of the warrior and the beginner and the fighter and the truth seeker and the beauty of the Aries full moon, to passion and power, to understanding and grace, to determination and brilliance. And it has you looking at things so much more openly and so much more honestly. This is the spark. This is the spark for why you get out of bed in the morning. And yes, sometimes the reason you get out of bed in the morning, all right, is because you have responsibilities, or, you have to use the bathroom, things like that, that get you moving when you just don't want to. But this is the remembering why. This is the beauty and the power of your truth, of your hope, of your soul, of your desire, of the way you need to move forward, and of the release that you are embracing. This is your passion, this is your creativity, this is your beauty. And it leads you to a healing. This gift comes in, this gift is handed to you by divinity, and it heals, and it connects you. And there's an understanding, and there's a seeing, and there's this deeper truth that comes forward. There's love, and there's healing, there's centering, and there's balance. This is the Minor Arcana Lover's card. This is also a duality of spirit and what you desire, and the filling of your cups, and the way that you want to move forward. And it leads you to strength. It leads you to calling on the strength of you, which is the first of our 3 8s. And this strength is not the strength of brute force. We tend to think, that's strength. Just like when you're a teenager or a little kid and you're trying to act like an adult and you just become really bossy. Have you ever seen kids playing, or remember when you were, a teenager or a kid and you were pretending to be an adult, so you just told everybody what to do? And that's kind of what we think of as strength. That's how our mind interprets it. And then we realize that there's beautiful strength in compassion and caring. There's beautiful strength in love and understanding. There's strength in upholding responsibilities. There's strength in the connection of the heart. There's strength in the beauty of the soul. There's strength, and there's tremendous strength in people that the world writes off as too kind, writes off as, naive, but they're not. It's the strength of love. It's the strength of love that our world finds so hard to understand. But it's a strength that will move mountains. It's a strength that will empower soul and people. It's a strength that moves forward. It's a strength so rare that when people have it, others can reject it completely because it's different. It's not what they're used to. But when it's appreciated and seen, it's powerful. It's the strength of people who have found inner peace and have nothing more to prove. And it leads you to the 8 of Wands. The 8 of Wands is change. Once you embrace that strength. Now, the 8 of Wands right here, this change, this is like the Minor Arcana Tower card, because I see the Tower card as change. Now, I don't want you to go, oh my gosh, it's going to be terrible. No, it's not. It's not. It's change, and it's divinity saying it's time for a change. This is the little tap on the shoulder that says, hey, you guys want to change? Because, you want to move forward this way, want to look at things a little bit differently. It's the nice coming in. When we ignore this little tap on the shoulder too often, that's when the tower hits us like a wrecking ball, absolutely knocking away the rut that we have come into, the way that we are. The divinity is saying, nope, not supposed to be there. This is a change that moves you forward. This is a change that has you look at things and has you look at, more and try to understand as you move towards what you desire, as you move towards what you need. There is a sense here of being intrigued by something different, being intrigued by something more. There's just a more around here. It's like, wow, I didn't know it could be like that. I didn't know I could move forward that way. I didn't think that could be a part of me. And then it leads you to the 8 of Swords. The 8 of Swords is putting a brake right on that change. It's like, nope. Doubt and fear and anger and upset. And no matter which way you turn, your mind is going to tell you, you can't. And your mind might go so far as to say you never could. Lie. It is a lie. We doubt and we fear because we're taught to. We're taught to be afraid. But also we have fear innately in us. There are certain things that we are supposed to fear. And so here, as you're looking at things, as you're gaining an understanding, it is that accumulative fear that keeps you from moving forward. It is that sense of that disappointing look, that angry glance you got from somebody, that, that heartbreak, that pain, that disappointment. It all gets stored within our minds. And it all makes us think, can I move forward? Am I doing the right thing? Is this nonsense? Is this just a lark? Am I being foolish? It is letting other people's words take over your own heart's desire. It's knowing failure so many times you don't think success was made for you. Instead of, I just haven't found the right road to it yet. It's not doing things the same exact way over and over again. It's not even doing things the way that everybody else does things. It's embracing you. It's looking at what you want, what you need. And it's saying, I will not be held back. I will not be kept silent. I will not let my doubts and my fears control my future. You break away from the cobwebs. You break away from the doubts and the anger. And as you do so, and as you start to say, you do not get to have this hold over me, it moves you to the Fool. It moves you to a new world opening up. It moves you to being able to move forward. It moves you to looking at things in a new way and in a new light and saying, yes, I can, instead of no, I can't. It's the healing that moves you forward. And as you start this Fool's journey, you're going to find that you're breaking away from a lot of the things, right here, that made you think that you couldn't, that made you, a lot of the nasty habits we get into as human beings. The ones that don't help us, the ones that are our avoidance, mechanisms, the ones that don't keep us calm and centered. And here, with the Fool, we're starting to move forward. It's saying the first step. It's like, it might be foolish, but the first step is always the hardest. And then it's like, oh, well, you forgot the second step and the third. And until we gain this momentum, it is as if we're pushing a boulder up a hill to achieve our dreams. And we always get to a certain point, and it's like Sisyphus, right? Who was damned forever to push a boulder up a hill just to have it roll back down again and start again. And that's what it feels like to go after your dreams. That's what it feels like to go after what you want and what you truly desire. But you're not damned. You're not. There's a beauty that you are going to see. It's like you have to get to the point where the boulder isn't in front of you. You have to get to the point where you're not proving anything to anybody. And you kind of step into your truth in a way that you hadn't anticipated. And then as you start this journey and as you start this hero's path, okay, as you're slaying the monsters and you're moving forward and you're taking on these Herculean feats and you're seeing that you can instead of that you can't. Know that at times you will fail, you will fall, you will stumble, things will become astoundingly hard, and you'll think, I just have to give up, I just have to walk away. And you are going to find that the giving up and the walking away, that is the boulder coming back. Instead of saying, I'm giving up, you can say, this isn't for me. It isn't right for me. I'm not moving forward in the right way. That's wrong. But it's not giving up then. It's changing tactics. And it's still having that faith within yourself. And it leads you to knowing which battles to pick and which battles to let go. It's like my great grandma would always say, if you walk on every stone, you'll never get to the other side of the lake. You'll never get to the other side of the river thing. There we go. And it's true, because if you have to step on every single stone in the riverbed, you'll never get to where you need to be. All your time will be taken up with nonsense that it didn't need to be taken up with. And so here, you are going to have to understand, as we all have to understand, people will oppose you. People will not understand you. People will hate you just because they can. All right? Because people are angry within their own worlds. They're frustrated within their own worlds. So instead of making their worlds right because they don't know how, they'll sit there and they'll pick on yours. They'll get angry about this. They'll get angry about that. The Seven of Wands is saying, I'm not a rug. I'm not just going to roll over and let people walk all over me. But I'm going to know my truth. I'm going to honor myself. I'm going to stand for what I believe in, while letting others stand for what they believe in. I will defend myself when need be, but I will not make my life's mission having others understand me. That's not part of my truth. That's exhausting. I understand me, and that is enough. And I will fight for me, and that is enough. There's a wisdom to this. There's a seeing behind the mask. This is connected. I see this here, especially this card, very connected to the High Priestess. And as you do this, you actually are calling wealth into your life, but you're also going to be facing what has made you kind of apprehensive within having wealth in your life. This is not standing out in the cold, thinking that prosperity is for others. This is releasing a pauper's mentality. This could have been handed down from you, to you, from, your family. This could have been a past life experience, but For a lot of us in this world, it comes from our parents, it comes from our upbringing, it can come from a myriad of different ways. But it's not perpetuating other people's trauma and drama. It's not perpetuating their hurts, their pains, their disappointments. It is looking at yourself and saying, this is where I stand. I stand in the wealth of my prosperity. I stand in the power of my truth. And I stand in the beauty of my being. I deserve to be wealthy. I'm not talking about, Scrooge McDuck diving into your vault of money wealthy. I'm talking about being able to pay the bills, being comfortable, being grounded, being beautiful within yourself. Because it is proven that once you make enough money to pay the bills, and I'm not talking about living in like super, super, super expensive areas, but I'm talking about once you have enough money to pay the bills, to, hold off the debt collectors, and maybe do something a little bit fun every now and then. But once you have that much money, which I think it's somewhere around, I don't know if it's globally. No, it's not globally, but I think it's around $40,000. Okay? And that's living, again, in a reasonable area. Then your happiness actually doesn't increase after that. Once you can do that, once you can ward off, feeling strangled, okay, having debt and, feeling like you're never going to catch up, which is around $40,000, your happiness will not increase from the amount of money you make after that. And that is huge. At least for me, that was huge. I was like, oh my gosh. And it's stepping into a wealth that is yours, a power and a beauty that is yours. It's not being on the outside of it anymore. And yes, you might live in a part of the world where that's just not enough. And okay, that's cool. Then pick what is enough to be safe. And have safe be the goal. Because we all have here in our world a firework mentality. We want everything to be bigger and better and glitzier and have everybody see how absolutely prosperous we are. And this is just simply being prosperous within ourselves. Feeling that we are wealthy within us, within our hearts, within our souls, within our desires, within our truths. It leads you to what you wish for. It leads you to looking at the stars, looking at your hopes and your dreams, and letting beauty in. The public arena for you is astoundingly intense. You can be balancing a lot to the heart and the inner self with the public arena, but the public arena is very strong. It's kind of like it's either a desire to have people see as you're moving forward, or to impact the public arena in a really profound way, or that things are going to be happening during this time that are just, they're deep. They're deep, and they are more than you thought they were going to be. And this is looking at your soul's wish. This is not the wish that you cross your fingers and say, oh, I wish upon a star, This is what your soul wants. This is the guiding path to your home. This is like following the North Star. It will lead you to where you need to be. It will lead you to what you desire. What is it? Second star to the right and straight on till morn is what Peter Pan says as he's going to Neverland. There we go, Neverland. It is looking at what you want. And it's knowing that if you have faith within yourself, not just faith and that's it, but a sense of, I know, and I'm working hard towards achieving and succeeding. And this warrior mentality comes over you and it guides you. It becomes your guiding light. It becomes your North Star. And it's this warrior mentality. It's the balance of your heart and your soul coming forward. It's the new romantic cycle. It's falling in love with life again. It's breathtaking. It's awe-inspiring. And it's the greatest form of your perfection. The moon reflects the light of the sun, our closest star. The star here tells you, this card here tells you that the moon is reflecting this star's light. The moon is reflecting your truth and having it illuminate you in a soft, loving way. Take that illumination. You're going to be facing addictions. Now, this does not just mean drugs and alcohol and gambling, which I believe are the main ones, or the other things that we have, support groups for shopping and food and, everything like that. This card has us look at what is affecting our lives in the negative, what is not moving us forward towards our greatest goals, our greatest desires, our greatest achievements, where we need to be, body, mind, and spirit. This is what holds us back. And so here with the Devil card, what you are looking at is everything that perhaps you're happy, everything that takes away from you healing and moving on your hero's journey, because this is the saying, well, you're always going to procrastinate. You're always going to just want to zone out. Why even try? You have enough on your plate. Does your happiness really matter? Nobody else cares. You can't fix everybody's problems, so why are you even trying to fix the problems? There's just going to be more misery around you. And it's never going to stop and it's never going to end. So why try? And it speaks to the heart of you. It speaks to what makes you think, yeah, why try? There's just so much. And I can only do so much. Why do I try so hard? But this is looking also at this earthly world. It's looking at the enticing, siren calls that say, come this way. Be like this. Do like this. You should be. And it's saying to the world, that's not me. I can embrace my truth and my path, my beauty and my understanding, with wisdom and with grace within myself, and not be held back. And as you do so, you are set free. You break free of the chains, and you fly to new heights, following your love, following your joy, following your peace. There's a warrior within you, most definitely. And with the Chariot, it comes out. And you wouldn't think that with Cancer energy. You'd think, oh, that's soft and sweet. But remember, charioteers in the ancient world, they were the main warriors. They were the tanks that came in. And so here, that is what's coming forward. It's the tanks, it's the determination, it's the passion, it's the power, it's the truth. And it's moving you forward in a way that has you spreading your wings, in a way that has you embracing your heart, in a way that has you seeing your truth. And as you do so, the world starts to open up to you. As you do so, the world seems, yes, astoundingly vast, but also astoundingly doable. It's like, oh, wow, I can do that. Oh, wow, I can move forward that way. Doors that you once barred for yourself, and you might not even have known you barred them, they start to open. And you're like, oh my gosh, I never thought of that. I never looked at it that way. But I can, can't I? I can be free, and I can be me. And the world says yes. Yes, you can. Let's see what Luna has to say. How will Libra be affected? Let me move this up here. Okay. How will Libra be affected by the October 1st, 2020 full moon? How will Libra be affected by the October 1st, 2020 full moon? How will Libra be affected by the October 1st, 2020 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. All right, I'll put it like that. How will Libra be affected by the October 2020 full moon? How will Libra be affected by the October 1st, 2020 full moon? How will Libra be affected by the October 1st, 2020 full moon? How will Libra be affected by the October 1st, 2020 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. All right. We have here the void, patience, and peace. I like that. The void brings patience and peace. Self-love. You and your loved ones are safe. Look at the big picture. It's kind of like, know that everything is okay. Look at the big picture. Balance spirituality with practicality. Conclusions are within reach. Your commitment is being tested. How much do you want it? Is what I'm seeing here. The moon is saying, how much do you want it? How can you look, especially at the nothing, okay? The new moon, the darkness, the abyss, the peace, the understanding. But it can also be the fear, the overwhelming. So the void comes in. And there's a sense of needing to have your understanding, needing to, center yourself. Be patient as you face the void. Be patient as you look within you, as you see something so much more. And you're not going to want to be patient because nobody ever does. I mean, nobody ever wants to be patient. It's like, give it to me yesterday. But there's a patience needed within you. There's a patience needed for you. How are you moving forward? Where is it that you want to be? What is it that you desire? Have patience because you're moving to the next level. But you have to focus on peace. And it's not, I need to hide from things type of peace. It is the I need to center myself and center my soul and call upon my power and let this peace into my life in a way that is astounding, in a way that is fully and powerfully me. It then leads you to self-love. It leads you to opening up your heart, and it's in the heart line. It's opening up your heart to love you. I matter. I am worthy of love. As you do so, you find that you and your loved ones are safe. It's like, don't worry, you're safe. Now look at the bigger picture. What is it that you want? What is it that you're heading towards? Why is it that poverty is holding you back? Can it be that poverty is literally holding you back? And you're exhausted. Believe me, I understand. It's like you're exhausted. You're working all the time and you're not even getting ahead. And how are you supposed to then have time to do what you love and what makes you happy? It's like you don't even have time to do laundry type of thing. Look at the big picture. Look at where you want to be. Take little steps. It's not the big steps. It's not the big thing. It's kind of like the little things. The little things that can be done to move you forward, to get you out of the exhaustion, to let you see that it's not a dead end. No, it's not a dead end. It's a beginning. And it's a knowledge that is profound for you. Balance spirituality with practicality. Balance your heart with the practical. As you call upon your wishes and as you are being guided towards something so much more. And as you're seeing the pull of this earthly plane. And you're understanding it for what it is. It's alluring. It's alluring. Be like this and you'll be happy. Look like this and you'll be adored. Do this and everything will be better. Conclusions are within reach. Is that true? Will things be better if you just? Or will things be better as you embrace your heart, your soul, yourself? And say, this is me. No apologies. Your commitment is being tested. Your commitment to the balance and the love of who you are and what you want is being tested. Do not let others decide this factor for you. Your subconscious message during this time is you have the Sagittarius full moon, and now you have the Sagittarius new moon. So Sagittarian energy, very powerful for you during this time. The moon is saying that this is a very powerful energy. It says luck is on your side. Subconsciously, you're taking aim, and luck is on your side. So know that about you. You're luckier than you think you are. And then there's fear. Fear holds you back. But you see the crows around her, and you have an ace in the hole, don't you? Because the crows are your spirit animal during this time. The crows are what are co-creating with you. The crows are what are leading you forward and are letting you see your secret law and your secret truth. And it's not time to hide in fear anymore, to be lessened. It is time to be emboldened. It is time to be empowered. It is time to walk forward and free yourself from fear. And that could be subconsciously just sitting back and saying, what am I afraid of? And why am I afraid of it? And you can make that your chant, a little mantra. What am I afraid of? And why am I afraid of it? What am I afraid of? And why am I afraid of it? And you could do it under the light of the moon during this time. The moon is going to be a very guiding force for you. It's going to be your warrior aid, so that even the meekest of us are going to feel empowered. And so, yeah, what am I afraid of? And why am I afraid of it? And the answers, the things that start coming into your head, even if you think it's just nonsense, even if you sit there and say, well, why the heck would I be afraid of that? Take it as the truth of your subconscious. Take it as the truth that you need to hear. And see yourself moving forward. See yourself tackling those problems. Your subconscious tarot message is the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups are dreams. And the Seven of Cups warns against living in dreams. And it says, open up the door. Make dreams your reality instead of living in dreams, because it's safer. It's safer to have dreams that never come true. It's safer to sit there and say, oh, one day, one day, one day. And that day never comes. We all have those dreams. We have dreams that we feel like we were born with. We have dreams that we feel like are such a part of ourselves that they become sacred. And then how can you risk failing? And how can you give a sacred part of yourself to the world? This is learning that fairy tales can be real. This is learning that dreams can come true. They may not be the way that we envisioned them. It might not be the truth that we saw, but it's the truth that guides. And it is the truth that leads us forward. The Seven of Cups embraces our dreams and helps us bring our dreams into reality. Instead of living in dream, it's manifestation. It's seeing us. And it's conquering in the first way we need to conquer to be able to do anything. It's conquering within the mind to be able to move us forward to where we need to be and to see why we are apprehensive of walking a path that is our truth. All right, Libra, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we walk forward in confidence and in purpose, knowing that we are the warriors of our dreams and the creators of our reality. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and harmony, Libra. And may you have a blessed moon.